Good afternoon. Thank you very much once again. This time I just want to share my concern about the developmental issue in our country. It is about the issue of employment and also the issue of balancing things in all departments or maybe in all government institutions. I am here on behalf of the plumbers, on behalf of water operators, on behalf of mechanical fitters, pipe fitters, welders, and also our friends in electrical, in bricklaying, in carpentry, and the other institutions. First of all, I'd like to thank the government for the massive support in terms of skills development through CDF. Private institutions have trained a lot of young people, in these different professionals. But among these professionals, plumbing is one of them. This is the reason why I'm here, to say something so that everyone is able to understand and also contribute. The government is doing a tremendous job, and also a job that can be commended by somebody and everyone here. But there's something that is lacking. After training, what is next? We have seen young people, we have seen a lot of people who are doing nothing. Those who have done and acquired the qualifications in their different professionals, especially in hands-on professionals. But unfortunately, these people are not in employment. For these people to find a job, there's need of somebody to connect them. For these people to find something to do, maybe somebody who can connect them and make them maybe to pay something so that they can be employed. Especially young women there who are being used by these people, by some of the employers. For them to get employment, they want to be used. Young men have to pay something so that they can be employed. We have seen these abuse in the industry. We have seen all these things happen everywhere. And when we say about these things, we are talking through experience. And it is about the reports that we normally receive as an organization, where some companies, some government departments can request the organization to submit the names of plumbers. Then they even emphasize especially women. So when you submit their names and they be called for interviews, where they go for interview, things change. Ladies, they have to go at an awkward time. Some of them, they're told to submit their documents 18 hours or 19 hours at a certain place, not at the office. And some of them, they're being told to say, if you're not going to do this, you're not going to get the job. This is very embarrassing, and this issue is happening not outside country, here in Zambia. For a young person, a young man, also to get employment, have to pay something so that that person have to be employed. For a young person, a young man to be employed, have to sacrifice to do something, or maybe to have a connection somewhere so that you can be employed, which is not good in our country. I am here to support my industry, which is plumbing, because that is my industry. The industry which is on my heart. And it is because we have seen how these people have done in the history of this country, Zambia. We have seen the massive infrastructure going on. We have seen things, technology is changing in the industry. We have seen everything now is digital. Everything now is nice and well present to our eyes. But alas, people who are doing these works, these plumbing works, are not well recognized, not well considered. We have seen how these water utility companies are growing. Water utility companies are growing and also having good revenue. It's because of the hand of somebody, the hand of a plumber, a water operator, a pipe fitter, water engineer. But look at this. These people are not considered accordingly. These people who are just seated in their offices, big fish, so-called big fish, their job is just to point. Their job is just to command. Their job is just to read on papers. But when it's come to do the actual work, these people are doing nothing. But people are suffering and make the utility company grow, make that company to grow, make that company to be known, make that company to receive more income. A plumber and water operator, pipe fitter, are getting little for them to survive and take care of their family members. The situation is bad. It is because the plumbing institution, the plumbing industry is not actually considered as a profession which is very, very important in the country. Let me tell you something. Can somebody be called a minister? Somebody be called somebody who has got a very big position, who is just staying in the house where there is no plumbing work? Is that person going to accept that? The answer is no. You know, you are building houses, building mansions that need a plumber to come and do your work. But when it's come to do the payment to pay that person, you only appreciate the work. You don't appreciate the person. The person who have done all those works are useless. Sorry to say this. But the job which that person have done and doing is more important than the person who have done that job. All these things the government can't see, especially the ministries that are related to this industry. When we talk about means of infrastructure, we talk about means of water, we talk about means of labor, talk about means of local government, talk about means of agriculture, talk about means of health. All these ministries need somebody to do something. It is sad that we have seen also in terms of development issues, in terms of sanitation, health and sanitation is also compromised. Many government institutions, government offices, sanitation is a disaster. You see broken toilets, you see broken sewer pipes, you see blockages, leakages everywhere, which is also reducing the revenue, water revenue in the industry. It is because of maybe considering people are not qualified, people are not knowledgeable. But my appeal to the public and also to the government is that we need to consider this industry. This is the reason why, as an organization, Plumbers of Zambia, we are here to support this industry. The standards are not there. The regulations are not there. Policies are not there. Guides are not there. When you check maybe the standards in the construction, when it comes to plumbing industry, plumbing part, things are not done accordingly because we don't have a guide, we don't have a standard that should guide what you should do. This is the reason why the government may continue hiring people from outside country to do certain jobs, just maybe to fix a bathtub, a geyser, a solar geyser, a solar pump somewhere, jacuzzi or maybe whatever appliance that should be installed by a plumber who's in Zambia, but we hire somebody who are coming from outside country. Somebody from Zimbabwe, somebody from South Africa, somebody from Kenya, somebody from China to come and do that job. And yet, the government is there every year, every term to train people who are supposed to do such jobs. But those people are being trained in this country. They are not recognized. Better to get somebody who is coming from outside country. And after doing the job, this person is getting the money from the country, sending to his country or to her country, and then they're developing. And here we are many crying about the economy. This is very serious. The plumber who is in Germany, the plumber who is in America cannot get 1,000 kwacha. A plumber can only get 1,000 kwacha per hour. But here in Zambia, a plumber is getting I don't know how much. So, it is now my appeal that if the government is able to employ 5,000 teachers or 10,000 teachers, 8,000 nurses, 10,000 whatever number in these other institutions, then it is possible that the government can employ many plumbers to occupy these government institutions. Because we have seen where the government can advertise to employ 8,000 teachers, but I never seen the government advertise to employ 1,000 plumbers. These who can occupy the government institutions. If you go today to different types, different ministries, you will see that there is no plumber. They normally hire somebody from outside. They normally hire somebody from the street. How possible is it that the big ministry or the big company can employ one plumber the whole country to do all the services the whole country. How possible is it? Is that person a machine? The answer is no. Here's the big institution employing one plumber to do the services, the plumbing work the whole country Zambia. Today is in Livingstone. Tomorrow will be in the Copper Belt. The other day will be in Solwezi. The other day will be in Nakonde. The other day will be in Chirungu. This person have got no time to rest, no time to mingle with the family members. Why can't this institution employ plumbers in all provinces, in all districts, in all zones if possible? Why can't the government in all these institutions can fail to employ plumbers in each district, in each department to employ a plumber who can do the work? But each and every time, each and every quarter, each and every year, we see how the government is doing to employ massive number of teachers, massive number of nurses. But there's no time to go around this government institution and see where there's some gaps. If the government can have time to go around and check if the Ministry of Health, provincial level, district level, office level, if they have a plumber, if they don't have a plumber, then they have to collect the data and see how many plumbers are needed in all provinces of the country. How many plumbers are needed in all districts? How many plumbers are needed in these offices? If the government can do that, then you are going to create employment in the country. We have seen some government infrastructure where you see poor plumbing work, and yet it's a government institution that can do the best, that can give example. But works are being done poorly. We have seen things are happening. The coming of the CDF is the way of opening the economy, boosting the economy of the country. Through empowering this young person, this young man, this young lady, who have done a skill. If a bricklayer is being trained, a plumber is being trained, a carpenter is being trained, an electrician is being trained, and we put all these people together, they will be able even to build schools in rural areas, in urban areas, and peri-urban areas. Because a bricklayer will build, a carpenter will roof, a painter will paint, a tiler will fix the tiles, a plumber will do the plumbing work, or the pipe work, or the ablution work will be done by a plumber. And these works will be done by one team. We have seen challenges in rural areas and other areas where you see there's no water, and yet currently we have the issue, or maybe the program of training people can do solar installation, solar pump installation. Why can't these people be put together and go and assess the work? Give them the CDF fund, assess the work, drill boreholes in that particular area. Okay, you have to sink that solar pump, and also elevate tanks, build the kiosk centers, the drop points, and people in the community have to start now benefiting from that. All these things are not happening. My point is, let's consider also these other professionals. If we can consider these other professionals, we are going to grow as a country. Now it is a time when we need to do things that is professional. Those plumbers who are not registered, those plumbers who are not trained, those plumbers who are doing things which are not actually the standard, they need to be trained and they need to be actually known so that we do things which is uniform in this country. If there is a way of assessing works, assessing gaps in terms of employment, then we need to engage each other. Stakeholders have to come together and do one thing. If it is the Ministry of Infrastructure, to see challenges that the other ministry is facing. The other ministry is facing water, the challenge of water. The other ministry is facing the challenges of leakages. The other ministries have got the challenges of maybe blockages, sewer systems are bad, and other things. If the Ministry of Infrastructure can gather this information and engage the stakeholder in charge of this industry, in charge of these works, like plumbing, then we will be able to come together as a team and use people who are already in the system, who is going to do the work that is actually recommended. So, ladies and gentlemen, as plumbers, let's come together, move together, and see how we can fight this. Currently, we don't have a standard and codes. This is the reason why we are not considered as people who are very, very important. You see people driving nice cars. This person is coming from the house where there is a shower, there's a bathtub, there's a geyser, everything fancy. But when this person sees the plumber, they see something which is not pleasant to their eyes. Somebody to be called a big name is because this person is coming from the house which is well furnished, well built, well painted. Now, we forget these people who are doing these works. We respect our works. We don't respect somebody who has done this work. So, it is a time now to wake up. The government also need to help this industry so that together we can develop the National Standard Code, National Plumbing Standard Code. And also consider first the Zambian to do the work. There are a lot of things that we need to talk about. We talk about professionalism, talk about works that's being done in the plumbing industry. This is just because many of these government buildings, public buildings, private buildings, they are not secured in terms of fire protection. Building doesn't have fire protection, fire sprinklers. It is because this building were planned, the design was designed by Zambian who don't maybe understand the importance of fire sprinklers in that building. We have seen modern building coming from being built by people coming from outside country. They make sure that fire is there, fire protection there. Fire sprinklers in all buildings are there. And this is part of protection in the Ministry of Infrastructure and also in the Ministry of Local Government. We are now coming to a time when we need to appeal to the government that when the government is employing these people, teachers, nurses, and other professionals, the government should also consider these other professionals, which seems like they are not okay, which seems useless. But these are professions that are very, very important in the society. How can you build a house in these urban areas? Especially you are called somebody, big name, but in that house there's no water, there's no toilet, there's no shower, there's nothing. You can't see that this person who are doing this work is very, very important. You are going to consider a bricklayer a very, very important person because he's going to build the house. And that house to be complete, there's need of other person to come and do other works. The carpenter need to come. The electrician have to come. The plumber finally have to come and do the fine things. But these people are not respected. So through the Ministry of Infrastructure, Ministry of Local Government, Ministry of Labor, let's look at this as most important industry that should be also considered like others. This is the reason why we have seen recycling. Old people are still working as plumbers who need to retire. Why? It's because the little they are getting is not enough to sustain their lives. It's because they are known as people who are only special and they learn people. And every time we need to recycle, no employment. Let's try to consider young people in the country. There are young ladies who are doing very fine in this society. This young lady is doing plumbing. She's able to get something